Yo, what's up, NBA fans? Welcome back to the channel. Now, for nearly 2 decades, I've been a die-hard NBA superfan. From the wild buzzer beaters to the insane crossovers, I've seen it all. For me, basketball isn't just a game, it's a lifestyle. I can't even imagine a world where Steph Curry isn't draining 30-footers or LeBron isn't making defenders look foolish. But lately, there's something off. Is the NBA dying? Now, I know what you're thinking, but it's the NBA. It's never going away. But hold up, let me break it down for you. The NBA is in serious trouble. From plummeting ratings to growing fan frustration, it's clear the league is facing a crisis, and fans are starting to tune out. Ratings are down 48% since 2012. Even the most die-hard fans are starting to look elsewhere for their hoops fix. The last few years have seen major drops in the viewership of the finals. In fact, the 2020 finals were the worst rated in history, just 7.4 million viewers. And that wasn't a fluke. Fast forward to today, and the NBA is still struggling to regain the excitement it once had. So, what's going on? Why are fans checking out? Why is the NBA losing its edge? In today's video, I'm diving into the real reasons why the NBA is losing its shine. I'm sharing my personal take as a superfan, plus insights from experts and other fans who are asking the same question. Why is the NBA losing its edge? But hey, before we get started, do me a favor. If you've ever skipped an NBA game because it just didn't feel as exciting as it used to, hit that like button. I promise, it helps more than you know. All right, let's get into it. The NBA is in a tough spot right now, but I'm not just talking about declining ratings. There's a bigger issue going on, something that's affecting the way fans see the game. So let's break it down. We can't talk about the NBA without bringing up LeBron James. Love him or hate him, he's been the face of the NBA for over 15 years. But let's keep it real. His influence is starting to feel more like a burden than a blessing. And don't get it twisted, LeBron is a living legend, no doubt. But the way he's handled his career recently has left a bad taste in the mouths of fans. Take the Lakers, for example. We all remember the hype when LeBron joined them. Everyone thought it was going to be an immediate championship run. But since then, things have been, let's just say, less than stellar. With injuries piling up, an aging roster, and the constant drama surrounding the team, it's hard to be excited about the Lakers these days. And it's not just about the Lakers. LeBron's constant whining to refs and his ever-growing presence on social media have made him a lightning rod for criticism. He's turning into the NBA's prima donna. Think about it. How many times has he called out the league for not protecting him, for being unfair with officiating, or for the way the media portrays him? The constant attention to his personal life and his political stances is turning a lot of fans off. Check out these clips from the past few years. LeBron's been in the headlines more for drama than for basketball. Is this the face the NBA really wants to present? Don't get me wrong, LeBron's still one of the best to ever do it, but his brand is starting to overshadow the game itself. And when you have your biggest star more interested in social issues than in basketball, it leaves a hole for younger, more exciting players to fill. And that leads us to one of the biggest reasons the NBA has lost its spark is the lack of real rivalries. You remember the days when it was Lakers versus Celtics, or when the Heat and Spurs were going head-to-head year after year? Or how about the Warriors versus Cavs? Those were some of the most exciting times in NBA history, and the energy around those games was unmatched. But now, it's like every player is just jumping from team to team. Look at Kevin Durant, one of the most talented players in the league, who switched teams twice in a matter of years. First, it was the Warriors, then the Nets, and now he's in Phoenix. How can fans get emotionally invested in a league when the players are always jumping around like it's a game of musical chairs? Look at this timeline of Durant's career. He was with OKC, but no, that didn't work. He went to the Warriors to chase a ring, then dipped for Brooklyn, and now Phoenix? It's hard to build loyalty when your players are bouncing around from one super team to the next. And don't even get me started on LeBron James again. This dude has bounced between teams so much it's hard to keep track. First, he's in Cleveland, then Miami, back to Cleveland, and now he's with the Lakers. The idea of staying loyal to a team, developing rivalries, and building that deep history just isn't there anymore. You can't have a true rivalry when the players are only there for a couple of seasons before moving on. Fans want those real, raw rivalries. Players who face off season after season and really build animosity. But now, with players constantly switching teams, those rivalries feel forced. And that's just one of the many things fans have noticed. Here's another reason fans are backing off the NBA: soft officiating. Seriously, have you seen some of the calls this season? Players are getting texts for just looking at another player. How crazy is that? The NBA used to be about intensity, physicality, and showing emotion. But now, every time a player raises his voice or even claps their hands in frustration, the refs are blowing the whistle. And it's not just the texts. The officiating has been inconsistent, and fans are fed up with the lack of accountability. Giannis Antetokounmpo, arguably the best player in the league, got hit with a tech for looking at Al Horford. That's right, looking. Jason Tatum got hit with a tech for hanging on the rim after a dunk. And we've seen numerous times where players get ejected or penalized for minor infractions. It's killing the intensity. We need to see real basketball. Players getting in each other's faces, intense moments, and sometimes a little bit of a scuffle. That's the kind of stuff that gets fans pumped up. But now, if a player gets too emotional, they're slapped with a fine or a tech. The game is going soft, and the fans notice it. Look at the malice at the Palace. That was one of the most iconic moments in NBA history, and it all came from passion. Where's the passion now? Look at this footage from the 90s. Michael Jordan versus the Pistons. The physicality, the trash talk, the real intensity. That's the stuff we miss. Here's something I really want to talk about: League Pass. How is it that in 2025, we're still dealing with blackouts and streaming issues? You pay all this money to get access to the games, but half the time, your game is blacked out because of some ridiculous regional rule. So if you live in a certain area, you can't watch certain teams play. What sense does that make in a digital age where everyone should have access to the content they want? You try to watch a Bucks versus Warriors game, and bam, it's blacked out because of regional rights. Or you're stuck watching a stream that cuts out halfway through the third quarter. The NBA has got to fix this if they want to keep fans around. Look at this post on Reddit. A fan says, "I live in Vegas, and I can't watch the Lakers or Clippers. Why even bother with League Pass if I can't see my team?" It's ridiculous. Fans are paying for this service, and it's just not delivering. Let's talk about another huge issue: the attitude of players. It used to be that players were focused on winning. They'd sacrifice everything to get a ring. Now, the goal seems to be more about individual stats than winning as a team. The rise of the super team era has shifted the focus from team chemistry to stacking as much talent on one roster as possible. You look at players like Giannis and Nikola Jokic, who are focused on building something real with their teams. But then you have stars like Kyrie Irving and James Harden, who are more focused on personal agendas than on bringing a team together. That attitude is creating a disconnect between the players and the fans. Fans want to see players who are willing to bleed for their team, not just play for the paycheck. They want to see those gritty, old-school moments when the whole squad is in it together, fighting for that championship. Look at the 90s Bulls or the early 2000s Lakers. Those squads were all in it together. Today, it feels more like individual careers than one unified team effort. So, is the NBA dying? Well, I don't think the league is dead yet, but it's definitely in a rough spot. The game isn't what it used to be. And if the NBA doesn't make some serious changes soon, it might continue to lose its grip on the fans that made it great. What do you think? Are you still watching? Is the NBA still your #1 league? Or have you switched to something else? Let me know in the comments below. If you liked this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more real talk about the NBA and sports. And as always, thanks for kicking it with me. I'll catch you in the next one.